Iben Nagel Rasmussen, actress, director, teacher, and writer, iconic performer and emblem of famous Teatret from Denmark. Last time we saw Iben at Prague, it was in 2007 at the Farm in the Cave festival with her amazing performance called Itsy Bitsy. At these days, we were supposed to have Iben here at DOX, Center for Contemporary Art, to lead the workshop of her training method called Bridge of Winds. To witness Iben as a teacher or performer is unforgettable experience of meeting remarkable personality with powerful presence, sincerity, charisma, and depth. During our interview with Iben, you will see several video excerpts from the movie The Transparent Body by Claudio Coloberti, as well as Iben, the Training and the Figures movie, which is unreleased, by Chiara Krupi. Are you?
Hello, William. I am very fine.
So now you are sitting at your dressing room at Teatret, correct?
Exactly, yes.
Very good. I'm so happy we could have this streamed interview with you. Of course, a lot more better would be to have you here alive at Prague, but it is as it is. So let's start with the first question. You joined Teatret in 1966. Before this happened, you were young and living your 60s together with Aix Caloe, the Danish beat poet, and other of your friends. You were reading and listening to Bob Dylan, led a nomadic lifestyle, traveling to India, Morocco, Algeria, etc. Could you tell us more about that period of your life?
That period of my life, William, started in a very special way because I grew up in a very small community in Denmark, 50 kilometers from Copenhagen. But at that time, we didn't have a car. So we came to Copenhagen only twice, maybe a year. And I grew up there in the countryside, and I liked my house, I liked my parents, and I liked to stay with my family, but I didn't like the school, and it got very narrow for me. So both my parents were very politically active. They were at that time that we had the dictatorship in Spain and in Portugal and also in Greece. So my parents were working for that. They were writing. They were both writers, and they would write about that. And then one day, my dad got this. A letter asking a telephone call asking him if he wanted to take part in a demonstration against nuclear disarmament or for nuclear disarmament. So he said he wanted to go, and I said, but I want to go too. I must have been 15, and my brother said, I want to go too. Mm-hmm. So we went on this very 3-day long march from Holbæk to Copenhagen. And there I saw a completely different people, like people I've never seen before. And I said, they looked so interesting and so different. I was so young, but I wanted to stop school. So as soon as I could, and my parents were quite sad about it, but I went to Copenhagen and I stayed there left home when I was 16. And there I was in this milieu around the campaign for nuclear disarmament. And it was a very active milieu. It was the greatest, the biggest. It was even, if you look at Denmark, the size of Denmark, it was bigger than in England where it was born. So I met so many new people there, and there was a special office in Copenhagen where you could meet. We went out to put up posters, and there was a lot of political and not political, but social, the unity of so many people together. It was blooming. It was just before the real 60s, or the 68 started to bloom. So I met Ike Skalø, and he was also a singer. So we were very active in this period in many different political, not the party political, but this movement. But after a while, it was like it became. After this, many things were happening, were sprouting out, was born, different ways of dressing, different ways but the political in itself was very, you had this side that in other countries it became more violent, and you didn't, it was not violent, and there was a branch of it, but we thought that it became only words and words and words, that we were talking so much, and I felt I wanted to do something else. And then together with Ike Skalø, who was this singer-writer, singer-songwriter, we went on traveling, and we went hitchhiking. We left for Denmark with his guitar, and I remember, I think I had 2 Danish crowns. We went to Paris first, and we took the whole tour from Paris to Spain, and crossing the whole North Africa only by him playing the guitar, and I was collecting the money. And we had some really incredible experiences on this tour. For example, that the most poor people would give us the most money. That when we ended up afterwards, we went to Switzerland, and there were sitting these ladies with gold bracelets and things, and we thought, oh, they must have a lot of money, fantastic. And we went there to play in a fancy restaurant, and no one gave not one coin. And we were laughing so much. We thought, this is ridiculous. This is really, we learned a lot on this tour. And it was a very, very important period for me. We did this tour twice in North Africa, and then we got involved with the drugs, and that was became a very big problem for both of us. And my friend, also my boyfriend, Ike, was died in India in 68, 2 years after I came to Untitled. So one can say that when we traveled, he had his tools with him. He could write and he could sing, but I didn't know yet what I wanted to do. So I had to find it, and that was the Odin Theatre.
So, and how was your first meeting with Eugenio Barba? What made you to decide to work with him?
It was not really Eugenio Barba who I met, because I don't know why, but I think he was in some meeting negotiating for us maybe coming to, I don't know. But anyway, I saw the group, I saw the performance Fugleelskerne in the first performance of Odin Theatre. I saw it in a high school. It's a special, not a real high school, art school it was. And they came there to play. And at that time, I thought that theater was really boring. It was some old-fashioned things, because I'd only been to in Copenhagen. When I moved to Copenhagen, very few things. And with the school, we went to see very old, really old. I felt it was so dusty. So I said, if it should be actress, it should be cinema. So I went to this we'll see. These Norwegians showed up. It was Torge Marie and 2 other Norwegian actors. And they were, we were these flower power people. And they were so gray with their haircut. We had also the boys with long curly or straight hair. So we thought, come on, okay, we'll see these four guys doing something. And then they started, and from when they went on, came into this room in the school, I was completely, I sat with open mouth, and I was so touched. So when the performance ended, I could not move. I just sat there on my chair. And then Torga Vettel passed several times. He went, and I was still sitting there. Then I sat in some other place, and then he saw me. And I remember it must have been Odin Teater's first barter, cultural barter, because the director of the school after said, "Oh, you have to do something for this group. Can you play some of your off instruments, the xylophone and thing?" So and I felt so embarrassed. Come on, they have been doing this fantastic thing, and here we come with our little package of small, ridiculous the instruments, not ridiculous, but us playing it quite ridiculous. But then after a while, and then it was Torga who had been speaking to the director of the school, and he said that the theater would maybe move to Denmark, and she asked me and my brother, who also went to this same school. She asked both of us, but do you want maybe to participate when they come to Denmark? And try to get in, because they're searching for new pupils. And my brother Tom said, no, it's not for me. And I said, yes, I want to go. And so I went here. I took a train. I was home in my home, and then one day the telephone rang, and my mother gave it to me, and he said, "It's this Norwegian director. Can you please take it?" And oh, and he said, "You come to Holstebro. It's Holstebro is the other part of Denmark." This Eugenio Barba, speaking strange Norwegian, said, "You have to be here in 2 days. You have to bring shoes. You have to bring certain dress for training." Boom, and he put down the telephone. And then I came here to Holstebro in '66. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Essential part of the work of an actor in Odin Teatret is an everyday training routine. You, as an actress and teacher at the same time, had been searching for flowing quality energy through precise tasks, constantly looking for so-called the transparent body. Let's have a look at how amazing your presence and commitment looked like inside of one of Odin's trainings now. Iben, could you tell us, what does it mean to you, the transparent body?
The transparent body for me is it's a terminology that came later, but I speak of it because the first time I saw Odin Teater, and the first time I saw Torga Vettel making the training and making improvisations, and also Else Marie, especially maybe with her through her voice, I felt that this was not a beautiful or ugly body or voice. This was something else burning through the body. It was like, it was, because in ballet, you are having a beautiful body. It's aesthetically very beautiful to look at, and you can have an opera singer or other singers, and you find that the quality of the voice is really it's amazing. But I felt that they were, something very strong was burning through their body and voices, and that was what in a certain way, because I was very slow in the beginning. It took me maybe even 4 years to find my own way of doing the training, and at the same time finding also how to make the figures I should do in the performances. But the transparency, it's for me, it's so important. It is how can I, yeah, it is the body is getting something more, is becoming a lamp. It's not, you don't see the form, you see the light burning through the lamp. I think that this it's difficult to explain, yes, but it's that is what I intend.
And that is what I would like us to see in another excerpt now from your training. So let's have a look at it. Since 1989 until now, you have led the Bridge of Winds group, and at the same time is the name of your training method, with actors from Latin America and Europe. Could you please describe to us how this all was created and what is going on during your working sessions?
The group now has more than 30 years, and it was created because I held a seminar with some young people. I had always been of the idea that you should not have a seminar of only, I will come to Prague to do it, but normally I don't do small seminars. I wanted to work with the people for a longer time, and I had some try to do it with a small group that was a fixed group. It was called Farfa. It was because before the Bridge of Winds, and it was solved in a not very nice way. So I thought, okay, I will never teach again. But then I met some actors, very young actors that who wanted to work with me. So I said, okay, let's give it another try, but I will do it in another way, because it should not be a fixed group. It should be a group that meets once a year. And in the beginning, they were like 8 or 10. Today we are 20 or more, 20, 25 people. We are gathering each year, and we are, I will not call it a method. It's what I have been creating as an actress, the training, the different ways of the training that I had been discovering myself, which was very important for me, not just to copy what Eugenio and the actors had been taken from Poland, from Jerzy Kudetowski, but to find, or it was the only way I could invent my own training. So I was passing these different kinds of training to the actors, but also how to put together a montage of scenes, how to make a figure, and last but not least, where to go with these products or these performances, where you put them. If you go in the streets with them, if you go to another social reality with them, people who are not used to see theater, making barters. So it was like a huge project. But in the beginning, it was not in my head. I think all the things I have been doing or developing, it has been like being born while and growing while I was doing. It was not an idea, I want to do this, to teach this training. They have been developing, and together we have been discovering exercises and developing it. And the group is meeting this once a year, and then they go back to their original countries. They go back to Italy, to wherever in South America. And for me, this is incredible. Now it's like after so many years, it's a family. It's my family. I have an Odin family, and I have a Bridge of Winds family. It's like the gypsies meeting once a year to celebrate, to be together and to work together, of course.
Mm-hmm. Let's have a look at an excerpt from the first character called Town Crier you created. We will see it from the movie called Dressed in White, made by Torger Wetau together with you, which you did in south of Italy.
That was the first figure I made. We went out in the streets in Carpignano, in this little village, 2,000 inhabitants in the southern Italy, very close to where Eugenio grew up. Torger made a film about it, Dressed in White. I felt it was like a town crier, somebody who's going to give messages to the people in the houses, to call them out.
Another character which seemed to be very powerful, also for you, not only for the audience, it was the figure of Shaman in the performance called Come and the Day Will Be Ours. What has inspired you to create this figure?
I got the task from Eugenio. He told me you should be a shaman, but how to make the shaman, it has been completely up to me. I was finding the costume. I went to Paris to go to Musée de l'Homme to make a lot of research. But it was the first time that I discovered, because that the training was coloring my way of acting. It was a period where we were taking to be able to remember the improvisations we did. We had for the first time we used it was not a video. It was a kind of video to be able to repeat it. So I saw that my training gave the energy. I could find the same energy. She was moving in a completely different way than my training, but the energy was the same. It was very powerful. It was very close to me in that way, and it was important for me in many ways. And it was how can I say it was the strength of this of the that was I can say a transparent body maybe.
Okay, let's have a look at it so that everyone can have at least a little bit imagination. How was it? Let's have a look at it now.
There I discovered that the kind of training you do will, without you wanting it, it will color your way of performing or creating figures. It was a very strong figure for me.
How was the process of creating audience performance Brecht's Ashes, where you have created part of a mute Catherine, a daughter of Mother Courage?
This is maybe the character that is closest to my heart. It is, I feel that inside me I have this difficulty in, maybe now it doesn't sound like that, but difficulty in expressing and speaking. And it was born very freely. We had at that time a period where we had, it was not a traditional training with exercises, but we could exercise the new figures. And Eugenio had given to me the theme of the character of the Catherine, the mute Catherine. And I found her costume, this and her red military jacket, and it was born very easily. In this, we had this 1 or 2 hours each morning where we could train how she was sitting down, how she was moving, how she was using her hands. I even went to school to learn to speak the deaf and mute language with my hands. So it was and it was very how can I say, it was very fertile period of for me as an actress, and also for Eugenio, I think, as a director, and for the whole group. It was a special, very powerful period. And yeah, I'm still playing the figure of Catherine.
I must say I was amazed when I saw this figure in your performance Itsy Bitsy at Prague here. It was very touching. Many people were crying after your performance here at Prague. And let's have an audience, or the people who are now watching us, to see a little bit from it now. Iben, how does it feel to dedicate the most of your life to one theater company, which is Odin Teatret?
Well, I think it has only been possible because Eugenio Barba has been very clever at a certain point, because when I made my first group, Farfa, it was the first time, or the only time, that I could not be in an Odin performance, because it was a group where I participated myself. But instead of just cutting and saying, you don't be with me anymore, you go your own way, he was including my work, my wanting to have the pupils to work also with the training, not only with the Odin, but with to follow these pupils. And he was like embracing it. So it was not only me, it was other actors also who had different projects. And I think that is why we for such a long time have been able to continue our work together, to give the liberty to the actors to do other experiences.
Yes, and it's amazing that you are still very active. It seems you are still working on many projects. Can you tell us what are you planning? What is Odin planning right now?
right now, the structure of the whole Odin Theater is changing, because Eugenio is no more the director of the whole theater. He will be the director of the artistic part of making performances with the ensemble. But there are other groups now working in the same buildings, and the leader of the whole place and Odin Theater, not Odin Theater, but the NTL, which means the Nordisk Theater Laboratorium, is in the hands of another person, not Eugenio Barba anymore. So right now we are, or Eugenio is making with the ensemble without me, because I need a little breath after more than 50 years. So I am assisting him, but we are in the middle of the process of a new performance.
So hopefully we will have a chance to see it. But the most important, I hope we will meet soon with you at Prague, because we are promising this to each other already for some time, but we are not gonna give up. I would like to tell you big thank you, Iben, for everything you are been all the time giving to everyone around you, for everything you shared with us during this interview. And just one small memory, some years ago, we met together in a festival in Brazil, where my company performed, and Odin Theater performed there, a performance called Andersen's Dream. And I can still remember you telling me about you always having a lot of fun flying on the dock, dressed in wedding clothes, and that you are still able to do it even at your age. So thus, let's be the last fragment to be viewed tonight. And I truly wish we will see you alive soon at DOX. Thanks, great Iben. Thank you very much.
Thank you, William. I'm honored to be with you.
Thanks.